Hey guys, how is everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing amazing. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Bram. I talk about all things fashion, luxury, lifestyle, shopping, and travel. So if those are things that are interesting to you, I would love it if you would hit subscribe, become a member of my growing YouTube family, hit the notification bell so that you are notified of when I upload videos, which is typically Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And of course, I would appreciate a big thumbs up. It helps me immensely. All right, guys. So I am here with Carol. If you hear any growling or barking, there's a baby that is walking. So my doors on this side are glass and it's frosted mainly, but on the bottom it's clear. And so Carol can obviously see like the feet and stuff like that. And this baby keeps on walking by with her dad. And I don't know what Carol's thing with babies are, but when she hears them talk, she starts like barking and freaking out. And I don't know, like she is doesn't like when she sees babies in real, like not in real life, because this is real life, but oh, the baby's back. The baby's back. So she'll start to like growl and like, I don't know what her thing is because she doesn't like attack anybody. She never goes to bite anybody, but I feel like she like talks to them sort of. So like when she hears their like, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain it, but she's sitting by my feet and she's in a mood. Bear with me. If you hear anybody growling, it's Carol. She's growling. Anyway, let's talk. So today, guys, I wanted to talk with you about, so let's basically, if you can tell, I never have a script, right? I just kind of go off the top of my head. I have like a little outline of things that I want to talk about. So I was talking to my friend and we were talking about something that she wanted to buy. And she basically said, like, I would love to buy that, but everybody has it. So like it kind of holds me back from wanting to buy it because everybody has it. And I feel like we've talked about this a little bit on here, but it got me thinking like, does everybody have it or does everybody online have it? Because there has to be a difference, right? There has to be like we have to like draw a line somewhere and say like this is not necessarily real life. Like yes, if you are on YouTube or you're on Instagram and you're showing your collection and you're buying the same thing as everybody else showing their collection is buying and showing, then maybe you might feel that way. But for the most part, if you're buying with the sole intention of going out there into the world and wearing it, then I feel like that's not the same. And if you see everybody online with it, that's fine. But how many people do you see in person with it? So I wanted to have this discussion. I have a list, and I'd like to know what you guys think as well, of course, of items that I see all over online, but never really in person, like not that much. And then I have an alternate list of the items that I see everywhere in person, as well as online, just everywhere, real life, not real life. Sorry, it's getting dark in here. It's the cloud is behind the sun is behind the cloud. So yeah, so that I wanted to go over that with you guys. And I would like again, I would love to hear your feedback on that and what you also think. Like what do you see all of the time online, but never in person? And what do you see all the time online and also in person? So let's discuss. Let's go. First of all, let's go for. I'm going to go through my items that I never see or I rarely see in person. So it's kind of hard for me to say that I never see these items in person because I live in Miami and I feel like I see almost everything in person because people definitely like to show off here. It is definitely like a blingy, dressed up type of place. But I'm kind of going maybe off of my memory of like when I was in Arizona. Did I see these things in person? When I was even in New York, I'll be honest, I didn't see a ton of things in New York like on a everyday basis. Certain things, which I'll get into later, but not the things that you would think that I would see all of the time, you know? So let's talk. So yeah, so this is not necessarily based on Miami, which I think, again, I feel like Miami is kind of like an outlier in the sense that you do see most things here, things that you would not see anywhere else. Like on a daily basis, I probably see 5 to 10 Rolls Royces and Bentleys, right? I see Aston Martins. I see these crazy supercars that you wouldn't see like in the regular world. So I feel like Miami is kind of like a little bit of a different situation. But I used to live up like a little more north in southern Florida, and I rarely saw stuff there also. And I wasn't so far from Palm Beach. Again, Palm Beach may be a little bit of an outlier, but I definitely saw way less up there than I do down here in Miami. So let's get into it. Number one, I would say the love bracelet. Now, again, being in Miami, I do see them quite often, but going back to when I was in Arizona or when I was in like, more like towards like West Palm or when I was in New York, I would see it every once in a while, but the stacks that you see on Instagram. So, for example, when I was discussing building my stack with one of my friends, we were talking about like what should I buy next, right? I was kind of building the stack over quite a few years, and we were talking about what I should buy next and what would look nice with it and whatever. And there was quite a few times where I caught us talking and we were being like, well, everybody has that. Well, everybody has that. Or sometimes I'll say to myself, like, everybody has the Justin Clue and the love bracelet together in a stack. And I'm like, Bram, that's not true. I follow like hashtag Cartier stack, or I follow Van Cleef like stack. I follow these things, and a lot of the people that I follow have jewelry pages. So of course I see it all the time because that's something that I like to. I love. I love to look at other people's jewelry. I love bracelets. That's something that for me, like I love. Now, in real life, how many people do I see with like a real stack of love bracelets or um, Van Cleef bracelets or whatever? Not many. You will see a bracelet here and there, but do you see the stack? I guess that's what I'm getting at. We're not talking about just like a single love bracelet. However, I think in most places we are talking about just a single love bracelet, but like specifically where I am, I don't really see stacks. I see a lot of singles. I see a lot of like one-off Van Cleef bracelets, but I don't see full-on stacks often enough to say that everybody has it. You know what I mean? So I think that would be number one, would be the love bracelet. Number two is actually the Van Cleef bracelet. So online, everybody has 300 freaking Van Cleefs in different colors stacked everywhere. Like necklaces, they have the bracelets, they have earrings. Like you see Van Cleef jewelry coming and going. But in real life, I see the single motif necklace. Sometimes I see like the smaller sweet earrings every once in a while. I don't really see a lot of Van Cleef earrings, to be honest. I see the bracelets. I see a lot of like the onyx and the mother of pearl, but I don't see much more than that. And I don't really see them in stacks the way that I see them online. So I know that there's like a lot of videos out there like you should buy this instead of Cartier or Van Cleef, like, you know, other things that are not so played out maybe that you could look at as an alternative to these items if that's what you're looking for. But the truth is that are they played out? They might be played out, or there might be a lot of people online, of course, who are wearing these things, but are they really played out? Are they really something that you see coming and going in your area? I'd love to know, and tell me where you are. So like, are you in LA? Do you see a lot of it in LA and San Francisco or Chicago or like major cities? Do you see it in New York? Do you see it in Miami? Do you see it in Palm Beach? Do you like where do you see these things in real life, and where do you see them? Because I'd love to know, because I'm quite sure that if you're living in like Virginia or you're in Wisconsin or you're living in like regular places, do you see these things coming and going? I would assume no. I would assume no. So yeah, please let me know. Let me know what you think. The next thing I would say would be a Birkin. I think that we are it's so oversaturated online. Everybody is going through their Hermes journey. Everybody is focused on getting that 25 or that 30 Birkin. Everybody is focused on like, their wish list. I see Hermes unboxings like daily for a Birkin or a Kelly. What, guys, what do you think? In person, okay, Again, in person in Miami, yes, I see it. When I was in New York, no, not that much. Not that much. I haven't lived in, I've been to New York, you know, I'm there quite a bit. I haven't lived there. I moved in 21, but for my whole life I was there before that. And I will say that I, you know, I don't know, like when did these things become crazy? I mean, I would say that as long as I have been focused and noticing designer bags, which has been about 25, 26 years, I would say that there has not been many real Birkins and Kellys that I have seen on the street. For real. Now, can you always tell what a fake version looks like? No, because I'm sure that there are really great ones out there, but sometimes you can tell. And I've seen quite a bit of like fake items everywhere, but I'm talking about real ones that I'm either not sure or pretty sure that they are real. Um, yeah, I would say that it is few and far between that I see one in real life on the street, just like hanging out, walking by. It's few and far between. The next one I would say that I don't see very often is the Picotin. So again, you know, barring Miami proper, like Miami, like downtown or like Miami Beach, I would say that I don't run into Picotins on the street anywhere. I, yeah, and I think I see the Picotin less than I see the Birkin because I've seen a few. I've seen a few out there, you like walking around, but like really not that many. I don't see it in real life. Again, another one that you see in person, excuse me, online all the time. I just don't see it in person the same way. Laura Piana summer, is it the summer walk, the summer charms loafers? I have a bunch of them. I was totally influenced online. I know we have a whole thing with Laura Piana now, but I felt for a while like the Laura Piana loafer was so like everywhere. It was completely oversaturated. Everybody online, it was like the summer uniform of last year and the year before. Everybody had them. They would wear them with like, or even like fall and winter, like little cashmere, uh, like jogging suits with their Birkin or their Kelly or their Picotin. Like it was a whole look with their love bracelets and their Van Cleef. Like that was a look. But I saw it all over the place online. And do I see it in person? No, kind of never. Kind of no. I don't think I see really any Laura Pianas in person. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody in person wearing them, actually, except myself. I don't know. Yeah, tell me what you guys think because I felt like they were all over the place for so long, but I actually don't think that I've ever seen them in person on anybody else. Interesting. I just realized that. All right, the last one I would say is the puzzle bag. So, yeah, I don't know. This one came to me just like randomly, and I was like, you know, as much as I see the Loewe puzzle bag online and how so many people talk about how much they love this bag, it's like one of those bags that so many YouTubers and people on Instagram have and talk about being such an amazing like staple in their collection. I have to say that I can't remember a time that I've actually seen one in person on somebody. So obviously I've seen it in person. I've seen it in the store. I don't own one at this point, but I don't think that I have ever. Yeah, I'm trying to think about it. I really don't remember the last time or if I have ever seen somebody just like walking in the mall or down the street with a Loewe puzzle bag. Interesting. Because they're so popular online, right? I don't know. Tell me what you think. Okay. Next, let's get on to the list of the things that I see all the time. Like they're online everywhere, and I also see them all the time everywhere. Now, this is not to say that any of these things I wouldn't buy because I see them all the time. I think it actually lends to the fact. Now, I do like different things, so I might not buy it because I see it all the time, but it doesn't mean that I will never buy it because there's obviously a reason that these items are so popular. And some of these on the list I do have, so I'll talk about it. First of all, it's the Neverfull. I don't have a Neverfull right now, but I have in the past. It's definitely a workhorse bag. I think that it's kind of died down a little bit and something else has taken its place, which I will tell you, I think you guys know, but we'll talk about it. But I would say that the Neverfull is 100% the most worn bag like out there. Like even people who don't like designer bags, a lot of them have a Neverfull. Like it's just such a workhorse, like throw around bag. It's good for work, it's good for school. My daughter has one. She wears it to school a lot. It's just one of those bags that like whether you're a bag lover or not, it's just such a functional bag that I mean, no wonder it's like Louis Vuitton's best seller, right? I do not have one right now. I have one on my list, so maybe there will be an unboxing for one at some point. Although it would be like it's a limited edition special one that I am thinking about putting back into my collection. So we'll see. But yeah, I would say that that is like the number one bag that I see everywhere, and I think it has been dying down a little bit because the Goyard St. Louis is, I think, has surpassed that in the amount of people that I see using this bag on a like in person all the time. Everywhere I go, in every airport you go into, there will be a St. Louis bag. In every like, in, I can count probably 5 a day at least that I see in person wherever I am. It doesn't, I don't even, I could just be going to like the supermarket and I see them. I see them in the mall. I see them in the, now I have one. I have one in green. Um, that I might not have for much longer, but I have one in green. I used it quite a bit as a travel bag, but something must have like burned it or something on the bottom because it has a little problem on the bottom. And so yeah, so that might make me decide to move on from it. However, it is extremely lightweight. It is extremely durable, but I see it coming and going. And actually, I think that the color that I see the most is the green. I think so. My mother has a few. She likes them because they're so lightweight. And I just like it's such a good bag, but I literally see it coming and going now. And I think it's definitely, I think people were trying to move on from the Neverfull and kind of like branch out and get something just as functional with the same like idea and like shape and everything. And they like landed on all of them at the same time, landed on the St. Louis. Now, are they real that I see outside? I don't know. I think they are a bag that can be faked very, very well. I do. I think so. I think that like once you get that pattern down, it's really easy to fake it. And I've seen them on TikTok, on Instagram, selling like for like 40, 50 bucks. They look pretty good. Unless you know, I don't think that you would know that they weren't real. And the truth is that most places don't have a Goyard store. And most places, I mean, yes, you can buy them on Fashion File, you can buy them on eBay, you can buy them secondhand, just in general. But most places don't have a Goyard store. And so they are really not that readily like available to the public. So I feel kind of like a lot of what you see is fake, but that kind of also kind of like a little turns me off to it, which is why I haven't really worn mine lately. But yeah, anyway, definitely that would be like number one that I see everywhere, all day, every day, all day, every day. Always. All right, next one I would say would be the Dior Book Tote. I also have one. I have the blue oblique that I've had for many years. It's also a workhorse bag, although not as comfortable as the previous two. I see a lot of fake ones as well. I see them at the beach all the time. I see them like I see them coming and going. I know every single time I leave the house, I will probably see at least one book tote. And if I see one real one, I probably will also see one fake one. And while I am not one that cares so much about like the fake versus the real, I really don't care what you do with your money. I definitely like sometimes when you constantly see bad fakes, I feel like it kind of puts you off buying even the real one. It kind of just like, for me, it just like turns me off to the whole idea of it because then it starts to look a little bit cheap. And I'm not talking about the fakes that I can't tell. I'm talking about like the really like bad ones where you just know it's just kind of like falling apart or it's just the colors are wrong or whatever. And when you see it like a lot of them, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm over it. I'm a little over it. It's another one that I'm kind of looking to maybe pass on. Maybe I think the Dior book tote has had its moment. I know that it came out in this new collection where they did, funny enough, like the Bram Stoker Dracula, which I was like, damn, I wish it was a better color because I would totally buy it because I never can find my name on anything, but I'm not going to do it because I don't like the color. I don't like the book Dracula so much. I mean, the movie was okay, but like, whatever. And I'm just kind of over the book tote, like as a whole, you know? Next, I would say the Longchamp Le Pelage. I don't know how you say that. I'm bad at that stuff. That one I see everywhere. If I was a little more quiet luxury and a little more understated, I would definitely have one of these bags. I think they're great bags. I think they're great travel bags. And actually, who knows, maybe I'll buy one as a travel bag at some point. I like the fact that it's nylon, it's washable, like wipeable, it folds up. Like I think it's actually a great bag. It's a great bag for travel. So if you travel a lot, if you travel for business or like vacation a lot, I think it's a really great bag to have. It makes a lot of sense. It's super lightweight. It goes with everything, all of that stuff. I just don't have one at this time, but I see them all the time. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that goes to like, it's sort of like the Neverfull. It just goes to the fact that it is a really useful bag. And I think because it's so understated, it's one of those things where it's just a classic. You're probably going to see it forever and ever. I do like the fact that they're coming out with like different sizes now and trying to be like a little more fun. But for the most part, for me at least, it wouldn't be like an everyday bag. It would be a bag. Maybe if it's pouring out, like it, I was, this is one of the things that I was thinking. Like sometimes I take out my really like good bags, and being in Miami, you never know. Miami, like downtown Miami and like Miami Beach area, doesn't really. I don't feel like it rains like so much compared to south, like more south in Miami and more north in southern Florida. Because every time I drive to like Fort Lauderdale or Boca or something like that, it always rains on the way, or it'll like randomly, like the skies will open up. When I lived up more towards like West Palm area, it rained every single day, not like definitely all summer, 6 months out of the year at least was raining every single day. And then a lot of times like the skies would just open up on you. So I do think it like I was kind of thinking about it. I was like, maybe this is like a bag that when I bring out like my special bags, that I kind of just like fold up a Le Pelage and like throw it in my like good bag, like my special bag, and like so that just in case the skies open up, I can like open that thing up and throw my bag that I don't want to get wet in that bag. So that is a possibility. It's a possibility. It's something to think about. I don't love using like plastic bags, things like that. I've seen some horror stories where plastic bags with writing on it will somehow leak onto your, or like, color transfer onto your like goods, like leather and stuff like that. So it's definitely like I wouldn't just like throw a used plastic bag in my bag to cover it. But I do think it is not a bad idea. Sometimes I bring like a tote bag around, but I like that the Le Pelage has the zip on top. And so you can like completely cover your things just in case the skies open up on you. And then it would also double as like a travel bag and all of that stuff. So that's a thought that I might think a little bit more about, but I like that idea. Yeah. Okay. Next one is the Telfar shopping totes. I see them everywhere. I don't have one. I probably wouldn't get one, but I remember when they came out and they were like super hard to get. And I still see them all over the place. I honestly, I love the fact that it's a Black owned brand. I think that's amazing. I think that it's amazing that they did as well as they did kind of right out the gate. The bags went viral. They do have some cute colors. There's like a jelly version that I think is super cute. It's a little bit plain, I think, for me, but I see them all the time. I do. And I like the fact I do enjoy when I note like something is online and it is like a viral sensation online. And again, you only see it online. I do enjoy it when I see it in person because then you can see like what the consistency looks like, what the fabric looks like. Does it look like it is thick? Does it look like it's well made, et cetera, et cetera? Because sometimes from pictures you can't really tell, So I love the fact, I love it when you see things that have gone viral like in the real world, and Telfar is 100% one of those things. I see like kids in my daughter's school use it as book bags. That and like the Marc Jacobs tote bag I see a lot. That wasn't on my list, but I see that a lot, a lot, a lot. I see just like the plain ones. I see a lot of the kids in her school using them for their books. I see, people using them for work with like their laptops and stuff stuffed in it. Like, I think obviously we know that I think that is a really great, like all around kind of workhorse under the radar tote bag. So, but yeah, Telfar is kind of like in that kind of design bracket. I don't know what, like, folder, whatever. Telfar is very much just like that, I guess. It's just kind of like a workhorse bag. But I've also seen mini ones. Anyway, I've seen them everywhere. I see them all the time. And the last one I have for you in the I see it all the time category would be the YSL Lulu bag. Okay, I had this bag in light pink. I loved it for a while. I think I got it in like 17 or 18. And then I think it just blew up. Like, everybody got it. I still like this bag. I think it's very pretty. I just think that, YSL, I believe they still make it. They still have it in the stores. There used to be some cute colors that would come out, in my opinion. Like, I had like a baby, like a very light powder pink and with like silver hardware. And then they had this like huge version of it was actually what like I fell for, which was like this almost like this like bubblegum pink that was so good. And I kept on not getting it. And then all of a sudden, once I couldn't find it anymore, it like I wanted it so bad, but I could never get my hands on it. So I settled for the baby pink in the smaller size. It was still a large. I think it was the medium because the large was like really large. Anyway, in the beginning, when these Lulu bags started coming out, they had them in like really great colors. Slowly but surely, I feel like, oh, I also had a denim one. Sorry, I had the denim puffer one as well. And that was my favorite. I loved that one, but that one's long since sold as well. Just because, again, I just felt like everywhere I turned was this YSL Lulu bag. Everybody had it in real life, online. It was just, I was so like overstimulated by this bag. Like, every time I was looking through my feed, somebody had it. And every time I would walk to, anywhere, I'd be in the mall, I'd go to the store, somebody had it. So while I think the bag is very beautiful, I just kind of got a little bored of it. I know that they still make them, but they still make them like, I just haven't seen any fun colors in them in a long time. I think that a lot of it is like the browns and the blacks. The So Black is really nice, like the black on black with the black hardware. But usually that black hardware, while I love it, even though I'm not a black lover, like black bag lover and black clothes lover, I do love that bag in like the all black. I actually had somebody that I worked with in my old job that had that bag, and I thought it was really beautiful. But I just, that black hardware tends to chip pretty easily. So I stay away from that. Yeah, any like coated hardware tends to be a little more precious than like regular hardware because it can chip the layer off of it. Anyway, yeah, I just felt like everybody had it. I kept on seeing it coming and going. YSL has produced it for so many years and like there's really been no changes with it. Personally, if I was to get another YSL bag, I would probably grab a college bag instead. I always liked the college bag the best. And for some odd reason, I never purchased one for myself, which is interesting. But I do like the YSL college more than I like the Lulu. It's a little more, I think, casual and like funky than the Lulu, which is a little more like buttoned up and like prissy, I guess. Yeah, but I do see the Lulu coming and going all the time in all different sizes and in all of the colors. So my list, guys. So thank you so much for being here and making it through. If you have made it this far and you have not already subscribed, please subscribe. I would absolutely love to have you here. And other than that, I am doing a giveaway. I'm trying desperately to get to 3,000 subscribers. We are almost there, guys. And thank you for all the support and love, you guys. You guys have been amazing, but we need just under 100 more subscribers to get to that 3,000 mark. And I do have a giveaway happening at the 3,000 mark, which will be for 3 or more Labubus. Once we get there, I will be pulling names and giving away three plus Labubus. And for you to enter, all you need to do is follow me on YouTube and share a video, and on Instagram. So if you follow me on YouTube and share a video, that's one entry. If you follow me on Instagram and share the giveaway post or tag somebody in the comments, that is also a entry, a separate entry. So you can get up to 2 entries, and yeah. So I'm excited to be giving back to you guys because you guys have given me so much at this point. And yeah, so I'm excited to pull the winners. So yeah, if you have not already subscribed. All the information on the giveaway will be in the description box below. Other than that, if you are not done watching yet, I'm going to leave another video right over here just in case you haven't seen it, but you would like to. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.